Let's talk about curing our onions. So curing is just a fancy word for drying. It just means drying your onions before you store them. The reason you want to cure your onions properly before storing them is that if you don't do that, and there's still moisture in here in the bulb, you're going to cause it to rot and go bad sooner than you'd want. So if you're doing this because you want to store onions for a long time, you really don't want your onion to go bad sooner than it needs to, right? So when you have pulled it out of the ground, you want to find a way to cure it. And ways to do this are pretty simple. You need a spot that has good air circulation. You need a spot that is out of direct sun, but preferably still outdoors where it's windy and the natural air is just doing its thing. So for us, this is our front porch. It's an area that does not get direct sun. There's still a breeze. You can tell there's a breeze. And the onions can hang properly and cure. When you hang them to cure, you don't want to hang them upside down where the stems leaves are kind of down going into the bulb, because these still have moisture. See how they're green? There's still water here. When a plant, is pulled out of the ground, it actively starts to die. So these will die off. Some of these leaves are way more brown, as you can tell. But you don't want to hang them just like this, because that moisture will go into your bulb and it will interfere with the curing process. So you want to hang them upside down like this, or how I've done it, which is bent like this, where the tops won't kind of leak into the bulb. So that's just something to keep in mind when you're thinking of how to hang them. I've seen many different ways. You can have a panel like this on 2 sawhorses with support and just lay them down like this. You can lay them. Just make sure there's enough airflow between them. You can hang them from something like this. I'll show you a little more on how we did this, but this is just an easy way where I can weave the little leaves through and hang them down like this. And then they have good airflow, they're gonna dry, etc., etc. So just think when you're curing them, it doesn't need to be complicated. Just pick a spot that has good airflow, that has not direct sun, where you can hang these not upside down. Of course, now for demonstrative purposes, it's taking me forever to hang these, but you get the idea. I'm using a panel that I already had. If it was a little bigger, it might be easier, but there you go. It's super easy. Now, how long do you do this for? 2 weeks or so. You want to wait until, so these down below are almost ready. See how crunchy and dry these tops are? You want to wait until there's no green left, no moisture, everything is dried. The tops of the onion right here are super crunchy and there's no life left, because again, if it's not fully cured and dry and you store it with moisture, it will rot sooner and not stay fresh or cured. So here's one that fell on the ground. This one's pretty dry, and it feels pretty dry right here. And then you want the skins on it to be fairly dry. So that is signs that you have cured it long enough. On average, most onion varieties, probably 2-3 weeks. If you do it a little longer, it's okay. You just don't want to do it too quick so that they're not properly stored.